All right, everyone, welcome back for another episode of Carnivore Trades. Today is Tuesday, July 16th, 2024. If you've not done so already, please give the video a thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Come find me on carnivoretrades.com for swing trading alerts, analysis, and live day trading. Been absolutely on fire lately. If you like the videos, you want to make some money, feel free to join. Awesome gains lately. Especially if you like small caps. If you told me last week on Wednesday, and I was long this whole time here, and I told you guys for free, again, in these videos, that I had buy signal on the IWM going back to last Tuesday. But if you told me that we were going to be at almost 2,300, which is my macro target for the RTY, last Wednesday, I would have been like, there's no way. I said maybe 215, right? I told you 215 on IWM. I said that we would get there by this Friday. We got there basically on last Friday, and now it's Tuesday, and we're already to my macro target. But there could be another macro target here, and based on the impulsiveness of this move and the volume behind it, you can pretty much just take a simple measured move here, and let me drag that up. It is not out of the question that we can't get back to, essentially all-time highs. So that would take you right up there on the Russell 2000. Now, I don't think that happens in a straight line. Look, this index is up 12% in 5 sessions, which, if you've been playing it with the futures like I have, it's just been incredible gains. Also highlighting the importance of taking scaling out on the way up and leaving runners. If you take a trade and you get out of it right here, a big amateur mistake is people take profits too soon, and now you're missing the bulk of this move. But scaling out, leaving runners here pays big time dividends. But either way, I can definitely see that happening. I floated the idea earlier on Twitter, and that was back when we were at 2230. So add another 50 points to that, and here we are again. I didn't think we would go there today. I thought maybe tomorrow they could gap it up, but again, last Wednesday or so, I was like, yeah, well, we're gonna have a monster trade. We might get to 215. Maybe by the end of the summer we could get up to 225. And here we are 5 days later. So just incredible here. And again, I've talked about this ad nauseum, but what is this at the expense of? It's chips, right? Chips not doing anything. Chips, and specifically Mag 7. So again, Q's up just 4 basis points today. Very weak this morning. And again, as that money rotates into the Dow, dispersion continuing to have an effect. If something's up, something else has to be down. It just so happens for the last 18 months, the thing that's up was Mag 7. It was semiconductors and chips. So the things that were down were basically everything else. Dow and Russell specifically. United Health reporting today up 6.5%. That's going to help out the Dow, and up 1.8. And obviously IWM continuing to bid. Again, what did I say? Everything that's hated. ARK up 3.5. Bitcoin equities took another gain today on CLSK with members. Took one yesterday on Mara. And again, still holding runners on both of these. So anything that's hated, beaten down, oversold, regional banks, right? 4.5%, 4.57% gain on KRE, KBE. What I told you guys, 52.50, and that's where it is. So big move there. Anything hated, anything heavily shorted is getting that rally, and really awesome stuff here. And a great summer so far. And, what else can you say? Amazing moves. We do have, well, really nothing going on tomorrow. It is Whipsaw Wednesday. Again, remember, it is during OPEX week. I don't think we're going to see, I told you yesterday dips would likely be bought. We had a micro dip yesterday, a micro dip this morning, and we kind of inched back higher. If we look at the spiders, we kind of put this base in here around 56.50. We did get above that, talking about that as being an important level for this week. So if we show strength tomorrow morning, I really don't see why we can't go to 57. It's certainly a possibility. If we get up there, I'd probably be, more of a seller than anything, though. Especially going into VIX tomorrow. The VIX did stay bid. I don't know if that's people front running here. You can see the VIXY, VIXY. It stayed pretty bid towards the end of the day. There's the actual VIX up 7 cents. VIX futures up 0.5%. So maybe some traders front running that. I've seen that happen before. Does that mean we're going to crash? No. It just means that, you're seeing some protection as we get on to all-time highs here. So we'll see what we get. Again, I don't really see having a ton of downside here in the next 3 days. You can see a little bit kind of neutral to up. After OPEX is when you'd start to see risk coming back into the market. Is that risk, though? Because the last 2 risk periods we had, this is all you got for a pullback. And this one, you didn't even get a pullback. We just went through time. So we'll see what we get here. But again, nothing to do but keep riding winners at this point. And obviously, if you missed a move here, you can't chase at this point. The market gave you consolidation to play. They gave you consolidation to play. Now you got to wait for that again, or just stay out. Right now, pretty good moves here, and just amazing price action. Qs here again. I do think that the macro high is in here for the Qs for the foreseeable future-ish. I'm not saying we can't make a nominal high, but for the most part, I don't think that there's a ton of gas left here. If that changes, I'll let you know. But again, I think chips are going to kind of be that dead weight that drags down on the market here for kind of like the rest of the summer. But, we'll take it one day at a time here. We do have still strength from IGV, as you know. And I still think that can get up to 92. It's starting to consolidate there, but again, technology is still the weaker link. IWM, again, into my macro target, very close to it. It could easily get there on a gap up tomorrow. The diamond here, I think I had a number done on this. Let me just double check. I might have it. No, I don't know. It might have been like 412. I don't know. I have to look at it. But either way, really good price action. It's above 40K on the DJI, and we're at all-time highs. So we'll leave it at that. By the way, speaking of all-time highs, oh my God, how can this be? What happened? No, that's a misprint. That's a misprint because Mag 7's carrying the market, and the breadth is going to crash everything. That's a misprint. Oh, that's a misprint too. Don't pay attention to that. Equal weight's actually crashing. So don't look at that stuff. Semiconductors down 12 cents via the SMH. Pattern-wise, not terrible, but pretty good distribution here the last couple of weeks. I still think, my thesis is intact on that. IGV we talked about. Dow Transport's very strong. I made this case a few weeks ago. I got laughed at. This is an ascending triangle, right? There's really no way around it. If you call yourself, if you have any sort of recognition of a chart pattern, it's an ascending triangle. Higher lows equal highs. Again, can you stomach Dow Transport's breaking out here? Up 3 1/3. We break above that. How is that not a breakout, right? Can you stomach that? That's my question for bears. Interest rates here continuing to inch lower. On the 2-year, there's a lot of support down here around 4.4, 4.35. Right, that's where we broke out. I would expect some type of a bid there. But 2-year coming down, 5s, 10s, and 30s, all on the weaker side today as well. But, 10s I still think are in this channel here, and the long end I still think is kind of in this, and the 10s too, in this kind of big picture consolidation pattern. So you're going to hear the macro guys dunk on yields. Oh, I told you deflation was coming and all this stuff. Even if we get like weaker data, okay, but you also have to remember, even if we got a -1% CPI, they're going to take the biggest victory lap ever, by the way, even though they've been dead wrong for 3 years. But that does not unwind the 30% of cumulative inflation, right, that's happened over the last 4 years. So I think if the Fed does cut, I think the long end is going to go ballistic here. And I think that's going to be problematic. I also think commodities might go ballistic, but we'll see what we get there. I don't really see a ton of downside in long-term rates, is what I'm trying to say. All right, XHB here up another 5.7. That is a new all-time high, new all-time closing high. I told you guys, just be careful with that bear flag pattern, and that is been correct so far. So I said, look, we break back above, this could easily turn into bull consolidation on the weekly, and that is what's happened. So beautiful move there for XHB. VNQ up 1.25. That's closing in on 52-week highs as well. I'd say this could probably pierce the 200 moving average, maybe a little bit higher, and then probably run into some resistance there. XLF up 1.1. Berkshire continuing higher. Very nice move. We talked about KRE, KBE. Very strong. Broker-dealer is actually down today, but they've also been on a tear, so it doesn't matter. And by the way, that's just a pause candle, so nothing doing there. All right, oil here backing off down $1. So this is now a failure here. So we did close below that. We're going to close below that green bar. That doesn't mean it has to go straight down, but that does take away that bullish inside bar now. So again, I've been neutral on oil for a reason. And so far that's playing out. You know, if this could somehow recover and firm up, this does have a chance to kind of change this trend a little bit on really all time frames, but the chances of that happening now are lower with that failure. So support right now at 78 is if it starts to break down, and then, you know, probably around 76. Again, I've avoided oil here, and I'm going to continue to do that until it gives me any sort of setup. But oil weak, XLE holding up though. Again, a lot of it again. So it's oil's weak, but XLE hated sector, heavily shorted. That's why it's going up. I told you guys also, if oil comes down, don't think XLE has to come down. And so far, that's kind of been the case here. Higher low, higher high now on the daily for the first time since the move back in March, April. Same thing with XOP and OIH. This one's the powerhouse of the group. Big resistance up between 340, 345 though. A good move there. CCJ continuing to digest that big pop from last week. No changes on either of these. URNM down 2%. Nat gas, dead cat bounce here at the bottom. Got to get above 228.5 to even have a chance of putting in a low here. I did not like the price action this morning. I did not take this trade. If this was down hard this morning, I probably would have gotten in, but it was up in the morning, so I don't really like it there. So leaving that alone. Dollar index was up earlier, faded the whole day after that. Still hanging on here. Again, 103.88 is the only level that matters right now. Gold here is at new all-time highs. This is adjusted for the futures. But technically, spot price is a new all-time high. But for TA purposes, I use the adjusted contracts there. Either way, it's basically right there anyway. GDX, we talked about, that was the green flag on this, right? So if we go back to gold, I think it was right here. That's the 5th, was it? Let me see what day that was. July 11th. Yeah. So this is July 11th. No new highs versus GDX breaking out, and that's continued up. Beautiful breakout there. Big time move for GDX. Gotta like that. Silver. Still got the daily bullish inside bar. I think that's setting up to go. SIL on breakout, new 52-week highs. SILJ, same thing. Platinum up 0.5%, but it had a nice test candle, so dipped early and then came back green. Again, weekly chart, higher lows here. Got to sustain through 1050. I think then it can be considered much firmer and hold a rally. I think we talked about this yesterday, yeah, on palladium. Essentially, yeah, V-shape. So possible, again, it's hard to do TA on this, but big W and then possible V here. So if that can be a higher low and you can make a higher high, I think it's likely that the lows are in. Copper down 1.5. So losing that inside bar, it's definitely weaker now. Still got to try for a higher low, but the odds are lower. So this may need to come down towards that 420 handle after all. And then Bitcoin, again, I fell on the knife for everybody on Friday. Good move, failed pattern. So above the breakdown bar, and it's holding up well. So next area here is, 67 and a half, 68. I just want to say right now, even though I took the trade, I bought into the panic, and I sold too early, but I'd never really had a breakout target for this or a breakout thesis. I still think the monthly is too, right? It's too extended still. I'd prefer like this and then a breakout. I think if it tries to go up now, it's gonna get rejected. So if it tries to do this, I would expect, you know what I mean? And then it's gonna have to pull back with a higher low. Again, that's what I would say the probabilities dictate right now. But good price action. The technicals worked. I had a thesis that was based on kind of time. It didn't play out in the right time, which was kind of by last Friday. But it's playing out nonetheless. Good price action there. And again, I like those Bitcoin equities. I still profited from that, with having a CLSK and a Mara. Again, heavily shorted stocks, heavily hated, and it's been working out. I told you guys also, and I was laughed at for this too, but I said, look at CLSK, wasn't making a lower low. Mara wasn't making a lower low. Riot wasn't making a lower low. Coinbase wasn't making a lower low with Bitcoin. And nope, everybody was telling me Bitcoin's crashing. It's risk off now. It's going to take the stock market down. I said, you got to look at these things too. Treat the Bitcoin miners just like we treat the gold miners. Higher high there is going to, it's a good sign, right? It's a sign that money's going into risk, the risk aspect of that asset. So anyways, we'll see what we get tomorrow. I don't think there's a ton more upside on this leg, but I wouldn't bet against the market at this current stage. Amazing move in small caps. Easily trade of the year, maybe trade of multi-years in the RTY futures. Just absolutely incredible move. We'll see what we get going into the end of the week, but it is OPEX. Expect mean reversion at any point, and of expiration tomorrow, so we could see a little bit added volatility come in as we get closer to the end of the week, but certainly by next week. So anyways, guys, going to wrap it up here. You guys take care. Come find me on carnivoretrades.com. I will see you guys all tomorrow.